That wasn't a Scooby Snack, Scoob. That was a chicken leg. Or technically a drumstick.
I like drumsticks too.
Yeah, but he said it was a Scooby Snack.
Because I was getting Scooby Snacks as well. Frights.
Wow.
I believe there was...
Oh, there's a chandelier you can hop onto.
That's the hop-on point.
Whee! Oh, what's that way? More snacks. A zombie.
Like that he clutches himself one arm at a time and then falls back with like his legs up like a bug. Missed it. Got him. Right in the dick.
And
Right in the dick. Shaman.
Is that offensive?
We're gonna move past that.
Like,
I see what you mean.
yeah.
But we're just gonna move past it. You son of a bitch. You son of a witch. Get it?
Yes, I get it.
Because you can actually exchange the words witch and bitch, you know.
They just sound similar, and that was what I thought would be funny.
Yeah. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I feel like the reason why we're stuck at like 84 subscribers is solely because I'm not funny.
I mean, I don't think I'm that funny either. I mean, I'm just kind of hanging out, making fun of things as I see them. I'm not as... No, I'm not always all that quippy. In fun fact, this is the one thing you can't ride the rail of.
Scooby!
Alright. This is surprisingly close timing there. This is a creeper? Where? Aw, man.
Aw, shit.
Oh, shit. I'm just gonna get these,
Wow, there's a chest. Do I have to censor
nice big
that?
chest. Anyway. I like that he has like a Batman pounce. Like, look at that. I'm the knight.
I'm the knight.
Bring snacks.
Scooby-Doo has met Batman.
True.
And in a canceled movie that got leaked, he met Crypto.
Crypto the Super Dog.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
It was literally called Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2.
Is it any good? Oh, I can't call it.
I haven't watched it yet, but it got leaked. And I find that kind of funny that like Warner Brothers canceled it and didn't even announce it.
Let's go this way. All scares upstairs.
Oh no.
It's Velma.
It's Velma Dinkley.
From the hit show Velma.
The one running joke that I hate is they mispronounce
penis?
her name. Is what?
Fred's penis.
That's not a recurring joke. It happens like twice. Yeah, they do it more than once, but it's not like an every episode thing.
The thing is, I think I had a very poor impression on the first episode, so people weren't as interested to continue.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, if first impression's a first impression. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
If something doesn't seem interesting, then why would someone continue it?
Yeah.
Why is he chasing the bat?
Like Scoob, I'm criminally insane. But Norville as a character, I kind of liked. He didn't really do much. He just was there for the most part. But whenever he was like developing character, he was interesting, to say the least.
How about Freddy?
Fred, I found funny a couple of times. Because I found the fact, I think it's just mostly his voice actor. His voice actor, like, tried with the material he was given. Because he's Dennis from Always Sunny.
Who?
Oh yeah, you've never seen that.
I've seen a little bit of it. I didn't care for it. Damn it.
But like, he does a good job of playing a stupid, childish teenager.
Teenagers aren't stupid and childish. They know everything. They know how the world works. What? So, Box.
I wish I knew how the world worked. But like,
I think we should get VR models.
I've been thinking about something. I have an idea for an intro, but like, wow. Thanks, Shaggy.
All right, time to forget about you, Scoob.
Yep.
Looks like I'll be cooling my heels around here.
See ya, pal. All right. Who do you think the first big boss is? Do you know?
Is it Green Ghost?
Nope.
Is it Creeper?
Nope. There's Creeper's right there, sir. He, in fact, just fell.
To his death.
Woohoo! Rahoo! Right? Rahoo! Rahoo!
Oh, Fred and Daphne were like more interesting characters for the most part in Velma, because like they actually did things. I did find it funny that Fred was so like pampered as a child that his body was like, yeah, we don't need to go through puberty.
What?
I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny, but then they like blow it out, or they keep running with it. It's like, that was funny once.
His body doesn't need to go into puberty?
Yeah, he has like smooth legs and no body hair at all, and a small wiener because he like never had to do anything for himself, so his body just never like evolved. I guess that's the phrase. That's right. I don't know.
It's not really how that works.
Yeah, I know it's not how it works. It's a cartoon. It's a stupid cartoon for people who don't like anything. Because like it's not a show I would recommend. I watched it because I heard it was the worst show ever made, and it isn't. It's very far from it. I think Nut Shack is horribly, like, a lot worse.
Shack?
Yeah, you ever see the Nut Shack?
No.
Don't. It's bad. Like Velma at least has a story and isn't all racial stereotypes.
350.
I mean, there are racial stereotypes done in the show.
It seemed like a lot of the humor was just making fun of white people, which is fine, but that's it. There's like a large majority of the jokes were like, they're white. Like, okay, that's funny a few times.
Yeah, there's a couple jokes where it's like, oh, white people. The police only care about white people. Mm-hmm. Then there's a couple jokes that were just like, we only care about Fred because he's a white male.
I assume you're saying it like that because they say it like that?
No.
You're just saying that?
I'm just saying that to put more emphasis on white.
Oh. Why?
I don't know, because it sounded funnier in my head.
It did it?
Did it? A little bit in practice? No. But yeah, there's one scene where they're all stuck at the bottom of a cave.
Okay.
Or, yeah, there was a cave in, and not a cave in, they just fall, and they're all pinned between a rock, and Norville has a helicopter come to rescue them, and then the helicopter pilot is like, I'm gonna save, or I made an oath to save people, and then so the helicopter pilot dangles down, is like, have you guys seen Fred? And they're like, no, and then they go back up because they're like, oh, we only care about the white guy.
Aha.
And it's like, that wasn't funny.
What are you talking about? That was so funny. Get it? Because he's white.
Yeah. Fred's mom's death was interesting because Fred blames Norville for it because he did deflect the bullet that killed her.
Deflected the bullet.
Yeah, she shoots a gun at him. He uses his sword to deflect a bullet, hits a rock, and the rock drops on her and kills her. And a very gory splash of blood. And then Velma's like,
There's a
wow,
gargoyle from the hit show Gargoyles.
that looks nothing like the gargoyles I like.
They look better.
What?
It looks better.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Velma's just like, wow, my mom's not gonna go to death row. And then she starts twerking over the corpse of Fred's mom.
Oh. That's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's a good character that people want to...
Oh no, Velma is a piece of shit through the entire series. And
It's like, why make a series where the main character sucks?
yeah, like that's the biggest thing is she sucks as a main character. Her entire motivation is I want to find my mom and I'm going to abuse all my friends to do it. Because Norville is just like, Velma, I like you and I'm gonna help you do your thing because I like you. But also you're a piece of shit. Like he does get to the point where he's like, man, she has abused me and I'm fucking done with this. And then one episode later he's like, Velma, you left me a voicemail where you said I love you. I'm going to save your day. It's like, oh, character 180 because...
I mean, that kind of happens with certain mentalities. Like, that happens to people sometimes. Where they finally hear what they want and they just start doing whatever.
Yeah, they go back to the exact same thing that they were doing.
There we go.
Daphne was like, Velma, I love you. Because,
Oh, they're gay?
yeah, they were gay. And then Velma was like, oh, well, I love Norville.
Okay.
Because she realized that she did because he did so much for her.
So you can't just buy love. Is the lesson there?
I mean,
With a sociopath,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Cower in the tower.
I'm trying to... yeah, Fred, he grew as a person, learning that he has to, like, form his own identity. And he did. He really
He loves
did.
traps.
He hasn't made it that far.
Oh, I see.
He did buy a van,
Oh, nice.
and he painted some flowers on it. They look ugly as shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he put on the side Fred's spooky hunting spooky hunter machine, because they're not a gang. In fact, like, they are further from being a gang than, like, ever, because Daphne hates Velma, Fred hates Norville because he blames Norville for his mom's death. It's like, I don't want to fucking be around this guy. Daphne doesn't like Norville or Velma. And Norville is just like, well, Velma, you finally said I love you. After years of us, you know, or after years of me wanting to be with you. But, like,
So the entire series is just toxic relationships.
yes, it's every relationship is toxic.
All of them? All of them that you've...
In the show?
In real life?
Oh. In real life? I don't know. What's your take on relationships? Are all of them toxic, Ben?
I think all relations can get toxic. I don't think that they are inherently.
Yeah.
I think the key to any relationship, period, is just communicating things, because you're not going to get things you want unless you speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
And people also have the issue of trying to figure out that they're allowed to want something in a relationship, or allowed to want certain things out of people. Fuck.
Cake.
I can't get it. But I think that's just a part of maturing. You know, sometimes you have to have a failed relationship before you can see what a good one looks like. But,
but in Velma, that doesn't happen.
Nope. It's like you can make a series about a shitty character like BoJack. But BoJack handles it better.
Yeah, BoJack is has a decent amount of he's trying to get better.
Yes. And he just sucks at it.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim is shit. The more I think about it, it's just like, man, Scott just is a shit person. But like Scott being a shit person is wrapped around a decent envelope of story. Not really story. It's just like the things that happen are interesting to see. It's just Scott is a bad person.
Right.
He shows signs of learning from it, but he's still one of the worst protagonists that I can think of. And people are like, "Oh, he's just a lovable asshole." I'm like, "No, he's just an asshole."
See, I think people say that because
he just like
they watched and learned the series / movie when they were around that age, and they thought being an asshole was cool.
But
it isn't unless you're
23.
Doesn't matter what age he is. The age, is the demographic.
The demographic was like teens. Young adults. And it's like Ramona isn't a great person either. Honestly, Knives was fine, except for the fact that, Scott emotionally abused her. And it was like, oh yeah, this girl's hot, so I'm just gonna like distance myself from you and not say anything.
Oh.
And then he did, and then he's like dating Ramona for 3 months. And it's like, oh, Knives, by the way, we need to break up.
Oh, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, like Scott does a lot of terrible shit. But then like people are like, oh well, Wallace just kicked him out of the apartment. It's like, yeah, well, Scott didn't pay rent. Scott didn't clean the apartment.
Yeah. That's like those people that always seem to be in bad positions all the time, and you're like, oh, poor them, they're so unlucky. It's weird that it always happens to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're the... God damn it. The greatest common factor in all this stories.
Yeah. Like,
no one in particular I'm speaking about, but... You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just see those people.
It's like, oh no, woe is them. Something always happens to them. It's weird that it's always them.
But like even after Scott moved out, his parents paid for the apartment. Scott never had there's a map.
There's a map, by the way.
Holy shit.
It's cool, right?
We have 223 of 320.
Yeah, we've been panicked at the attic here, so we got to go down to these ones.
All right.
This is where we're heading.
That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
I like that there's somewhat of a map.
There's more than this, I believe, because this is just the rooftop. Oh. This is just the mansion, because the lighthouse also has this.
Huh.
As well as fishing village.
Nifty.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. Like, I don't entirely know where I'm going, but I know that I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this rafters area.
Oh yeah. After Scott moved out, Scott's parents paid for
doing that.
His new apartment because he didn't have a job. Yeah. For the longest time, I think he doesn't have a job in the series. He just mooches off his friends or family.
Yeah, and people think that that's like okay, like, oh, look at this guy, he's just roaming. No, he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to... You're just being a burden when you're doing that. Again, it's okay to ask for help, but if that's the only thing you can do...
Yeah.
all the time.
But like,
Fuck.
the evil exes are all interesting because they're just like, yeah, we dated Ramona in school and she was not great to us. Like, you look at the twins, she dated both of them at the same time. And it's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work as a relationship.
Nope.
And then a lot of them were just, she left that person for the next person in line.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people often think of in the wrong way is that, oh, they left someone for someone else. That's not good.
Yeah.
That is not a person you want to be with.
But like
Someone who
that's-
has no problem just dropping someone at
That's
the
like
tip of a hat because they found
4
someone they
of
think
her
they like
exes.
better. Right.
And then Knives is still there being like, man, I liked Scott. I genuinely did.
It's a shame.
And I think her whole thing behind liking Scott was he's older and that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, because she was 16 when they dated. And then,
Oh, that's weird.
yeah,
Now, did he knew that?
kind of. Because they met on a bus.
As you do.
She dropped her books and was like, hey, let me help you with that. And then they just started like talking from there. And then to Scott, like, it wasn't a relationship. It was just,
Oh.
this is somebody to hold my time. Like somebody to talk to, somebody to hang out with. And it's like, okay. But everyone still was like, Scott, this is weird. He's like, yeah, I get it, but I'm just going to keep doing it.
Right. Like, he gets it, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He gets it, but he doesn't. He gets it that it is weird, but he doesn't understand that why it is.
Yeah, he's more of just like, she finds me interesting, and I like that kind of thing. And it's like, okay, but you're also 23.
Right.
She's 16. You know, shouldn't be doing that.
Right. Like, it's a child. Of course, they're going to find you interesting because you're older, and they're like, oh, older, interesting.
Yeah. And then, like, there's one point in the comic where Knives' dad is like, you hurt my daughter, and so I'm gonna hurt you. And then he, like, goes to kill Scott.
As you do. It's a very hinged family that she has.
Yeah. In the game, you can unlock Knives' father as a assist if you beat him in his boss fight. The game has like interesting things like that because it's based off the comic. Because Knives' dad does not show up in the movie.
Oh.
But like,
I love lightning. It sounds so good, the thunder here.
what?
Oh, that's how you're supposed to get over there. Well, whatever.
I hate the song
good-
Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Oh my god.
That's
So bad.
That's the worst song by them, and
It's so popular. Like, it's played all the time.
yeah.
It's so bad. Like, I'm really whatever on Imagine Dragons, but
It's really the song Thunder that made me think, man, if I ever hear an Imagine Dragon song, it just makes me want to not alive myself.
yeah, I'm alive.
It's just,
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
really bad.